Hi there and welcome to Apple World. Brandy got into the industry at a very young age. And all of you know how perilous it very well may be for youngsters in the business. We have heard that's what such countless terrible stories are like. However, Bry's story must be quite possibly one of the most stunning ones. Cognac experienced childhood in a severe Christian home, and her singing ability showed early. She was at that point singing gospel tunes by age 2 of every 1,983. Her family moved to Carson, California, and liquor wound up going to the notable Hollywood High-Performing Expression Center around the age of 7. She became hopelessly enamored with Whitney Houston's voice and became fixated on music. Yet school wasn't all that accommodating with respect to her fantasies. She needed to push her instructors to let her go to tryouts for reasons unknown. Her instructors felt that she wasn't pretty enough, so they wouldn't send her to tryouts. Liquor was dependably uncertain on how she looked. She generally needed to look pretty, and, she never felt pretty. She has huge eyes. A major grin, what's more, individuals singled out her a ton, and it sort of caused her to have a not entirely ideal outlook on herself, and I was prodded. The only thing I had going for me was the way that I could take several notes. However, she didn't allow herself to get hushed, and by the time Cognac was 11, she was at that point doing ability shows and performing with a young singing group at little open occasions. Then, at that point, in 1990, things truly began getting when she endorsed with a Teaspoon Creations headed by Chris Up and Baron Harris, and they helped her put together a demo tape, which helped her send off her vocation. Quick forward to 1993, when Bree's folks handled her an arrangement with Atlantic Records. She was just 14 when she marked, and her mother Sonia quit her task to oversee liquor full-time, cutting attachments with Chris up simultaneously close to this time. Liquor exited Hollywood High and changed to private coaching from 10th grade on only a year. In the wake of marking with Atlantic, her self-named debut collection exploded, selling north of 4 million duplicates and scoring 3 top 10 hits. Yet as quick as the achievement came, so did the business hazier side, regardless of accomplishing in a couple of years what would take a great many people. 10 years, Cognac was going through it in the background. She was by her Moisha co-stars struggled, and Ed at last had an anxious breakdown that handled her in the medical clinic. And honey, no one could fault her on the grounds that dealing with the tensions of the business as a little kid isn't a piece of cake yet. While Liquor was hopeless, her mother Sonia Norwood kept pushing all her, proceeding to keep it pushing now. Sonia generally said she was only paying special attention to Bry's well-being. However, the TAA recounts an alternate story. The word on the road is that Sonia was an all-out stage mother, controlling, domineering, and poisonous, and supposedly disregarded Bry's emotional well-being battles by and large. Yet that is not even just plain terrible of it. The genuine stunner is the profound selling out rumors from far and wide suggest that Sonia didn't simply disregard Bry's unseemly relationship with W. Morris. From Young Men to Men, she supposedly collaborated with him to assume command over Bry's life and vocation. The roads are saying that Sonia asserted drove her teen girl into a relationship with a more established person for the purpose of her profession. That sort of makes sense of why Sonia earlier eased Bry's profession over her profound well-being even after she had a psychological episode. So how precisely did Liquor engage with Juan Morris in 1995? She got a gig as the initial demonstration for Young Men to Men, who were the greatest bunch at that point. Yet, while this was a huge break for her, there was a great deal of dull things occurring behind the scene. Cognac was just 16 when she went on a visit with Young Men to Men, and bits of gossip began twirling that W. Morris, who was 22 then, at that point, started a relationship with her. During that opportunity to make things much more chaotic, W had really met Liquor when she was only 14 or 15, when they cooperated on the hit single Despondent in 1994. So while this was happening, there were a few serious worries about what could have been occurring behind the scenes between the a lot more established W and Cognac. And like that wasn't sufficiently untidy at the point when the media learned about the relationship, Liquor got all the fault. Furthermore, she was painted as being a free youngster. It's the best sexism for me. It wasn't, as it were, the media. Adana Howard additionally faults Liquor. Yes, W was not just dating a youngster, yet in addition bamboozling like brother pick a battle. What makes the entirety circumstance considerably more upsetting is that Adina Howard, who was as old as W. Morris, faulted Liquor for attempting to take her man, as though that is not adequately gross, she actually alludes to the circumstance as a circle of drama in a recently re-emerged cut from 2019. Adina talked on the show, dismissing and brushing it as two young women who let their self-images get in the W. And we're going through it over a fellow. Two young women permit their operating system to disrupt everything, and we're somewhat going through it about a person. Yet in the event that you think Adina is gross, for this, simply hold on until you hear how W feels about this. You feel that he would have developed and seen the mistake of his ways, right? Particularly since he has a girl of his own. However, no. This man has zero regret for his activities, and he even put the fault on Liquor, calling her jailbait. 8. Furthermore, saying that she was mature enough for him, even expressed her behind the music that you made her extremely upset cause you fell in love with another person. I mean, you as it were fall head over heels for someone. You just fall out of affection with another person if someone makes you drop out of affection. You know, so assuming that was what was happening, is she said that her in the event that is political. I like that. I can't, you realize, I can't challenge to her view it. That it, I can simply just live by my V. I revolt, they were saying. She was truly youthful when you all dated, definitely. She was not unreasonably youthful. Not yet, you realize that is the reason, yet hang on, that is the reason I used to question, hang on yet. That is the reason I halted it and said that she wasn't that youthful, cause I don't need you all to think young men was youthful. We know? She said I was youthful too. She said she was 15 and she needed to stay quiet about it cause she was so youthful. No, see, we did the thing when she was like 16, 17, around that time, so you were as yet a kid too. You had. I wasn't old, I wasn't like 38 years old or not at all like that. I was old enough to, she was mature enough to get it okay. Yet, was it lawful in this state you all was in the? I mean, we was consistently in unique states what they had a wanderer relationship. You know what I'm talking about? We just Now we didn't do it in the states that it was legitimate. It deteriorates in light of the fact that in 2021, W indicated that Bry's mother Sonia could have guiltily worked with their relationship during W's Instagram live in January 2021. Somebody raised Liquor in the remarks, and he concluded the time had come to put any misinformation to rest about what truly occurred between them. Concurring to W, he and Cognac became companions later. Bry's mother Sonia connected with him, saying Liquor was a major our fan. Really take a look at this out. Liquor and I were companions in the starting. Her mom and contacted me, as well as my director contacted Liquor. In light of the fact that Liquor honestly loved of mine, and you realize I was astonishing on the grounds that this young woman was cool, and I was youthful at the time. I wasn't 30. Nothing, you know what I'm talking about. So W proceeded to call Liquor his protege, saying he played a job in aiding her profession by associating her with key individuals in the business. He then, at that point, uncovered that their relationship at last turned close, depicting it as two youngsters experiencing passionate feelings for. Anyway, he advantageously skirted the part where he initially met Liquor when she was only 14 or 15, while he was at that point in his mid-20s. It's undeniable he was attempting to keep away from the critical age hole. Furthermore, the unevenness of force in their relationship. What happened is, all things considered, you realize she became sort of like my little prot. You understand what I mean? I'm really the one that acquainted her with the Lances and Ralph Fuqua. They came to us to, as a matter of fact, do a television program on the UPN organization. And I said, well, you know, Cognax is down the foyer, and you know she's fundamentally she was on the Thea show, alright, cool, acquainted with that. The show came to completion. My mother and I composed the signature tune to T. He Cognac show, so Liquor and I were ridiculously close. When she turned old enough, we had been staying nearby one another. Not terrible, but not great either. Much we've been staying nearby one another. So much that there became to be some sort of association, a private association. We all things considered fell head over heels. Now we were young. Subscribe Apple World for more videos.